Boss tries to transfer me to a terrible position, for my mental health. Didn't work out. There's a good bit of history behind this, but essentially I was injured after being attacked in work. I developed PTSD and eventually had to go sick. I was sent to the organization's medical officer for assessment. He sent me for an independent assessment because he didn't believe I had PTSD. Independent medical assessment not only said I had PTSD but that it was directly as a result of my injury in work. I was given reduced hours at full pay and a position away from the public for at least 3 months. I applied for some unpaid leave for the end of the 3 months to spend some time with my family and prepare myself before I went back full-time. I spoke with my line manager during this time and was happy to return to my old position. During this time, my district manager changed. He got wind of my absence and decided I was not genuine. He decided to transfer me to a much busier spot where I'd be dealing with a lot of difficult people. I told him straight up I was not able for that. It was the area I had been attacked in and I'd have a lot of difficulty there. He said I couldn't go back to my old spot because that's where I went sick from. Even the medical officer said there was no reason to transfer me. But the boss stuck to his guns. He said he couldn't leave me in my old spot because it would be bad for my mental health. I'd be working alone most of the time and there was no documented reason I would have trouble in my new position. This was all in April 2020. I'm sure you know what global event was kicking off then. So I decided to get some documentation. I went to my own doctor. He was disgusted at how I was being treated. He gave me a few tests. The weeks of stress and anxiety had raised my blood pressure and given me some breathing issues, similar to hyperventilating. I had a few other small issues too. He signed me off work for 6 weeks citing stress-induced breathing issues and high blood pressure, and stated in a letter that these might place me at higher risk of adverse effects from COVID. My boss was not happy with this at all, so sent me back to the medical officer for assessment. The medical officer took one look at my doctor's documentation and decided to do a consult with me by phone instead of in person. He decided that I was too high risk to work with others and issued a direction that I was not to work unless it was in a well-ventilated office on my own. Otherwise, I was to be given paid leave. No such position was available, so I was placed on paid leave. Towards the end of the year, someone noticed I wasn't around. A line manager contacted me and told me I'd have to be reassessed as I couldn't expect to have free holidays. In the meantime, they'd set me up working from home. It took them till January this year to set that up. I went for reassessment again. I told the medical officer how great I was getting on working from home. The medical officer thought that me working from home was ideal, so directed it should continue indefinitely. All I wanted was to go back to my old familiar job. I should also note that they never replaced me there. It was a one-man public role and has been closed for nearly 2 years now. I wish you well for the future. PTSD is no joke. People who say it is not as serious as a physical injury should have someone waking them up every few minutes at night by shooting above their head. Still won't be the same, but will give them maybe a little bit of understanding. Remember, broken crayons still color. Gotta love the mentality of a boss who thinks she knows better than 2 medical professionals on whether a person is fit to return to assigned duties. But it did work out. For you. Glad you're doing better. Where do you work that you have an objective medical officer? WFH for the win. Well done for sticking to your guns in the face of this hostile crew. When will mental health ever be taken seriously? Let alone achieve parity of esteem, as is laughingly stated in the UK. With physical health? As someone else with PTSD, I hope you're getting treatment. There are specialized therapies for PTSD. Though very stressful, it could help. Also glad to see your medical team made things better for you. I'm so glad things worked out for you in the end. Obliviously not the US, we seem not to recognize workplace mental health issues. What country is this? Interesting story, but I don't see the MC. Are you a cop? This whole thing makes no sense to me. Seems like you just made things ridiculously difficult for you and your employer rather than just applying to a different job that didn't give you PTSD if you didn't work in the exact position that you wanted. I get you can't just find a different job at the snap of a finger. But you had at least 3 months and a small vacation. Why wouldn't you just leave instead of developing both physical and mental issues? And then admitting you can't even do the half the jobs you were hired for? Sounds less like malicious compliance and more like you just threw a fit until you got what you wanted. You get my free award. Get attacked by an anti-masker?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.